Privacy is not something that I'm merely entitled to, it's an absolute prerequisite. Martin Brand. Privacy. What does this mean to you? To some, it may mean privacy in your home or privacy in your shower. But to most, it means privacy online. Did you know that each year 64.2 zettabytes of personal data are collected worldwide? That is approximately 1 billion terabytes of the general public's private data collected and sold. Isn't that scary? Nowadays, we give companies access to our personal information as if it were the most normal thing in the world. We let them track us when we travel and store our personal information. Heck, we even store our pictures and files online in these so-called secure vaults. The same vaults like Amazon's S3, in which every cloud leak involving an Amazon S3 storage instance has had its permissions altered. This in large part due to the technology and how nowadays corporations have every piece of information on you, from your friends and family to your first pet, and even the information on the first ever device you used. If this scares you, it should. However, you are not alone. Everyone who uses the internet has fallen prey to their personal and private data being taken and used for many different purposes. Now you may ask, taken by who? Well, your data is mainly taken and stored by huge corporations such as Google, Facebook, and Tesla. But what's worse is that they are selling this data for hundreds of millions of dollars from right under your noses. You see, not only that, but they're hiding this through the so-called privacy policy changes that they claim to help the user while they're taking your data and selling it to people called data brokers who buy and analyze everything from your name to your marital status and even something as personal as your social security number. Well, if you're old enough to have one and live in the USA. But that's just an example. You see, I don't need to be the one to tell you how dangerous this is. But what's worse is that users like you and me are falling for their tricks by using their apps and browsers, and by usually not reading through their hundreds of pages of terms and conditions, which are, to be fair, elaborately crafted to make users skip them. Now, of course, if we read through all of it, we probably wouldn't even want to touch the apps or browsers. However, due to the monopoly in the market that these guys hold, and creating one-of-a-kind apps, we are forced to join or miss out on almost everything. Every job will require you to use many of these software programs. Handing over personal information doesn't seem like such a bad deal when we don't know what goes on or what happens to it. You see, some of the dangers that can occur from these are numerous, from scam phone calls to even going as far as potentially being put on a government watch list. Imagine some other government or even your own just watching over you every day, tracking your every movement. Your data can be weaponized and used against you, from ads specifically targeted to what you search up on your phone, to cases of the government and other applications listening in on your private calls. This moves us on to our next topic, security. In a nutshell, security is the absence of danger. When you cannot be harmed in any way, you are secure. Your life is private. When all your memories, personal belongings, and recordings are stored somewhere safe, they are free from harm and have no chance of anybody else accessing. But what happens when these precious memories and items that are so, precious and close to you? They're nothing to these trillion-dollar corporations apart from data. Data is what all these companies are after. Whether it be Tesla, Meta, or Google, they're all after one thing, and that is data. Why? Well, because data is almost the same as having the ability to read your mind. If I know exactly what you want, what you truly desire, I can provide it to you. If I know exactly what you want, I can make sure that I have the required corporations and businesses under me to satisfy your needs, in exchange for which I get money. Money equals power, and with power and money, you basically rule the world. You see, when I provide you the services that you truly require, you will stay on my applications. You will use my services. That gives me more control over you. There is a reason that the rich keep getting richer while poverty rises every day. Your data is the most powerful leverage someone can hold over you. Now, how do these companies use that leverage, you may ask? Well, here's a brief step-by-step guide that most corporations use in a very brief manner. Step number one, gather the data. Whether that be from algorithms designed to continuously look at your interests and provide you similar content, or storage spaces such as Google Drive designed to store your items, or even VPNs designed specifically to encrypt your data. They all gather up your personal photos, videos, and audio files and use them to paint a picture of yourself. A picture that they can use to target personal advertisements based on your likes and interests. It may seem good until you remember that they're not only using your data to sell you things, but also selling your data off to the highest bidder to do whatever or however they want with it. See, step number two, they leverage that data. You will often see ads popping up right after you search for something. For example, you search for how to clear up blackheads on your face. Well, in the next 10 minutes, you will see ads that target your search. Open Instagram and you will see ads for several types of creams, chemicals, etc. to cure said blackheads. How do they know this? Well, because your device is constantly being tracked. The internet is being used to constantly track you. Those applications are being used to track you. Every application whose terms and conditions most of you skip reading and just click on accept contains some subtext somewhere that allows this application to have some control over your device. Usually a lot of control. Did you just give Instagram access to your camera to record a video? Did it ask for access to your gallery? Great. Now it can see every photo or video that you've ever saved. And the best part about all of this, you gave them this access. Thus, what they now have access to is entirely voluntarily given by you because you just provided it to them. But all of this is under the pretense of you using their services. Step number three, abuse the data. Now that they have access to your location, search history, and probably even your bank or card details, it's time to abuse it. Ads, YouTube videos, reels, etc. all related to your searches will pop up every day. Sometimes you may even speak about something with your own family members, and if there's a smart device near you, that ad or that YouTube video will pop up right there, promoting their products. Everything to target you and make you spend your money. Because at the end of the day, everything is about two things in life, wealth and power. These are minuscule ways of abusing data. Most of this data could easily be handed over to the government for some financial benefit to these companies, either lobbying in the government or having some position of power. This data could easily be used by intelligence agencies and government institutions to target not only you, but millions of others like you in a way, such as identity theft, or putting you up on a government watch list because you've just searched up pressure cooker and you just happen to have searched up, about Islam, or say searched up about some terrorist organization. See, governments such as China have facial recognition cameras set up all around the country and can easily identify you because of this data. What used to be considered dystopian fiction is slowly becoming a reality. Your identity and your privacy are no longer anybody's concern because it is a tool used to keep you in check. In fact, on a larger scale, Edward Snowden showed us exactly how our data is being abused. His disclosures revealed numerous global surveillance programs, many run by the NSA and the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, with the cooperation of telecommunication companies and European governments, and prompted a cultural discussion about national security and individual privacy. In fact, I'd highly advise you to watch the movie Snowden, as it perfectly details how your data is abused. Moving back to the topic we diverted from, the initial topic, privacy. See, everything I just told you about on a larger scale, that is something that happens to almost everybody in the world right now. What people just 10 years ago would never share for $1 million in their bank account, nowadays most people share unknowingly with most corporations. Privacy has become a real issue in this fast-moving era of ours, and something really needs to be done about it. Privacy gives us the power to choose our thoughts and feelings and whom we share this with. Privacy protects the information we do not want to be shared publicly, such as our health or personal finances. Privacy helps protect our physical safety if our real time location data is private. Maybe the bigger corporations are not your biggest concern right now, but data is valuable to every single person. Hackers, scammers, cyber thieves, everybody is on the lookout for data. And believe it or not, while most corporations do like your data, they don't necessarily want to keep it safe, just as long as they have access to it. It is quite easy for anybody clever enough to access this vast amount of data. And this is what most people should be afraid of. A study on Reuters.com showed that around 5 million people globally had their data stolen and sold in the bot market to date, of which 600,000 are from India, making it the worst affected country, according to one of the world's largest VPN service providers, NordVPN. The study on NordVPN by Lithuania's Nord Security said the stolen data included user logins, cookies, digital fingerprints, screenshots, and other information, with the average price of the digital identity person pegged at just 490 Indian rupees. That is how cheap you are to most corporations. All of this was sold to both domestic and international markets. And all that data was sold not only to put your privacy at risk, but also everybody else's. See, even your safety is at risk. The study paints a troubling picture of how the effects of cybercrime on the modern world and serves as a reminder to everyone about the importance of keeping their data secure.